Hermetics and the art of manifestation. Hermetics to me is the science of oneself within the universe and natural law, and the art of standing at the cause of thy life. The result of being a Hermetic master, learning these arts and knowledge, is the ability to influence one's state and one's place in this plane in which we exist on. That is manifestation to me. And a lot of the teachings out here are falling so far short from my experience and also some of that ancient knowledge and ancient wisdom. So right here I have the Trinity of Manifestation up. And this is kind of the base system for manifestation as I see it. But in this video, we're going to be talking about the Hermetic laws, specifically 3 of them as they relate to this system. Now, if you want to go deeper into all of this, in my blueprints here, I have a masterclass on the Trinity of Manifestation. Link in the description. That's actually today, this Sunday, March 8th. So definitely join us there, and I'll have future classes following after this. Let's begin. Vibration is the scepter of power, the law of vibration. You are but a symphony of vibrations. Your body, your feelings, your thoughts, they are but vibrations, right? Everything is movement. Everything's in motion, right? And understanding and learning to harness the powers of vibration is the key to manifestation. Up-leveling and crystallizing our vibration into whatever we choose to align with, okay? Now, vibration gives you the power of influence, the scepter of power, the ability to influence one's states, other states, and the circumstances of life. But vibration, to really hold that scepter of power, you must learn to hold the power. And this is where the 3 laws that I see most important here are the law of correspondence, the law of rhythm, and the law of polarity. Let's dive in. Polarity, the law of polarity is the key to all mental alchemy. We are talking about state control here. Your ability to influence your state and be in alignment with the divine order of things, the cycles within and without, is your capacity to hold the power. You see, to stand at the cause of thy life, or to become the master of the 6th principle, laws of cause and effect, we must no longer react to the tides of life, to the circumstances of life, others, and ourselves. When we understand the laws of polarity, we realize that, for every hot, there's a cold, right? And they're not opposites. They are opposites, but they're not different. They're in fact one thing. Love and hate are one emotion at different ends of the spectrum. Where does hot begin and where does hot end and love and cold begin? Where does love end and hate begin? Right? Have you ever experienced a feeling of deep sorrow, of crying, just tears everywhere, right? Just like sobbing your eyes out. And how quickly that changes into a feeling of deep laughter. That is a image of the law of polarity in operation internally. Now, if you want to be able to influence your own state, right? That is the key to influencing other states, to influencing your reality, because your ability to influence your state is your ability to hold the vibration. You see, you will be influenced by others, by circumstance, by astrology, if you believe in that, by energies around you. And our capacity to move through this world while holding our power is the capacity to manifest. Power is the ability to translate intention into manifestation and sustain it. Power is the ability to translate your intent onto earth plane and sustain it. And without power, right, we cannot manifest. We cannot be at the cause of thy life. And also, every time we use force, we break our power. Let's talk about the law of rhythm. This is the key, the focal point I want to dial in on in this video, my friends. Hit that like button and share this video if you're finding it useful. Rhythm is the law that states that the pendulum will swing between the polarities. So this follows the law of polarity in the sense that, a feeling of high energy and inspiration will usually, the pendulum's going to swing to a feeling of low energy and maybe depression, okay? For the law of rhythm is the tides of life. The moon waxes and then it wanes. Energy rises and then begins to die. Life sparks to see and spring begin. The summer blossoms into fullness. The fall begins to wilt and the winter begins to die. Okay? The law of rhythm, as applied to the Trinity of Manifestation, is we're in a place of space right here between no tension and intention. And in this place of space and fullness of being, right, we spark a vision from our hearts, right? And we fuel that vision with emotion and imagination and intent, right? This fuel crystallizes into action. And this is where we take action, we concentrate, we come into form, right? The energy is rising, the moon is full. And then the energy begins to wane. All of a sudden you're really inspired to make these blueprints, or, start that chapter in your book, or, begin going to yoga classes. And as the energy wanes, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with the dissolving process? Your capacity to let go and flow with the tides of life, right, is step A. To listen, if the energy is like waning, let it wane. It's time to dissolve. It's time to practice no tension. It's time to let that crystallization dissolve into a solution again, so that we can pull out the weeds and then spark a new vision to refine it. This is the alchemical process, as solvent coagula talked about in the last video. Go check that one out, the ancient alchemy of manifestation. And solvent coagula, my friends, really this whole process I'm describing here with the law of rhythm is describing the process to taking the perfect breath. The perfect breath. When we inhale the fullness of form, the fullness of energy and power of the universe, the inhale being the feminine polarity, right? We inhale that pendulum, we inhale it all, right? And we hold it. We hold that in between the worlds. And then we exhale. We exhale in fullness, in completion. And throughout that whole exhale, our energy is cycling through us, and we're allowing our mind, our emotions, everything inside of us to dissolve. We are practicing that art of neutralization so that we are not the victim of constant cause and effect outside of us. We're not the victim of reaction to distraction, to rhythms outside of us, right? Because we are neutralizing the ebb and flow inside and aligning with the ebb and flow outside. This is the alchemical art to manifestation. And as you do this process more and more, as you know that you're moving towards, like for me, growing an awesome YouTube channel or being an awesome coach, I'll have, a few weeks of really high energy towards it, crystallization and concentration. And then maybe I'll take a week off and go dissolve as the energy wanes. Aligning with those cycles is the power. But what most people do is they resist the ebb. This is the key and point I want to make in this video. If all of a sudden you were just in a state of high love, high connection with your partner, and now there's some tension, there's some fighting, there's some miscommunication, you're not quite feeling the same way, are you reacting to it? Are you holding on to the memory of what was and constantly trying to recreate it? Or are you going with it, with faith and love, and knowing that the ebb is happening and the flow will begin, that the pendulum will re-swing? If you have awareness and self-awareness of these cycles within you, if you watch yourself, all of a sudden you're in a state of guilt and shame about something you did. And maybe you start reacting to that, thinking you need to fix something, right? Instead, watch it, observe how that emotion transforms. All of a sudden you're feeling lethargic and depressed. Watch it, don't react to it. You see what you're doing when you're depressed, when you're deeply resting, you're in a state of no tension. Embrace the emptiness, hold the emptiness, and go with the ebb fully. Because the more we can die, the higher capacity we have to live. I wrote a post on Facebook that death is the gift we give to God, and life is the gift He gives in return. Okay, you don't force the process to inspiration. Inspiration happens when we allow the cup to empty so that a new form can be inspired. Attention and concentration can be added to it, and then we learn as we dissolve. That is the principle of rhythm within the alchemical process towards manifestation. Now, rhythm, I want to reiterate the point I really wanted to make. Let's say you're in a state or polarity of abundance. So much money is flowing through you, or so many lovers are coming to you, right? And all of a sudden you start like overcommitting yourself because you're feeling high energy. And you start overcommitting yourself. You actually start reacting to this excitement and you lose your center power, right? Reacting to the positive or reacting to the negative is still an equal loss of power. If we're reacting, we're overcommitting ourselves, we're over envisioning, we're overdoing, right? With that energy, well, A, it's gonna burn out quicker. And B, if we like start upgrading our lifestyle when we started making more money, and then the ebb of life hit us, then all of a sudden we're in this place of deep scarcity because we had spent all of our money upgrading our lifestyle and wasn't anticipating this ebb that was coming because we're lacking awareness of just the seasons of life out here. And then the ebb hits, and now you're in the state while the energy is ebbing that you need to like burn yourself out. You need to like start doing a lot of things or thinking, or like you're reacting from a place of scarcity. If you master the law of rhythm, you will never be in a state of reaction any longer because you will observe the principles of polarity playing out inside and outside. And as you learn the arts of neutralization and going with the flow and really finding that balance point, as we complete cycle after cycle, you will continuously up level. You will continuously crystallize that golden vibration, that scepter of power. Cast that shit and the world will reflect it. Hell yeah, my friends. Definitely share, like this video, drop a comment on where you want to go deeper. So much could be said here. So I really encourage you to sign up for the masterclass, or if you go through that link in the description, you can sign up to get notified of future masterclasses on the principles of manifestation and Hermetics. These are the two greatest sciences out there, I believe. Reaction and force break your power. The wise know that power must be consistently built, but can be lost in a moment. It builds with momentum, but can be lost in a moment. A moment of reaction, a moment of force. Our feelings of inability to influence our state, or in a lack of awareness of that state and why and where it is on that pendulum, creates this feeling like we need to force things, like we need more coffee, like we need to force life, instead of accept life and transmute it into, the vision and attention inspired from our hearts. Our inability to influence one's own state is reflected in your inability to influence other states. If we feel powerless to influence others, to influence this reality, we will constantly resort to using force and never realize the power. You must learn the keys of polarity, rhythm, and correspondence to influence one's own state. And then you will wield the power of vibration. And you see, the law of attraction is all about vibration, but they're lacking all these other principles. They think it's just like, imagine it, think about it, align with that vibration, enter the vortex of manifestation, and it'll come. But they're lacking awareness of the natural order of things, natural law, and the science of mental and personal inner alchemy. This is the key to everything. And state control, inner alchemy, starts at correspondence, goes into polarity, and ends at rhythm. This was a video just about rhythm. The next one I want to make is about correspondence, how our thoughts relate and affect our feelings, affect our body, and how the body, just like vice versa, affects our mind, affects our feelings. Stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys next time. Really appreciate when you hit that like button. Share this video. I don't know anyone else really talking about this shit with like that clarity. So let me know what you think. Love you guys. Peace out.